Hey guys, I'm back again. Welcome to day 50 in a life with the Galaxy S23. Today I'm going to talk about 4K video recording. I saw a comment on the Reddit thread about one person complaining that it may look a little grainy. So I'm just going to do a deep dive into that. By default, the camera on the Galaxy S23 for video recording is at Full HD. So you have to change that by going to the settings. So once you launch the camera, you go into the video. On the top right corner, you click on one of the icon and then you can change it between Full HD. You can reduce it to 30 frames per second, 60 frames per second, or you can bump it to UHD. It's kind of funny. I don't know why they don't just call it 4K, but I assume U stands for Ultra. But then if you go all the way to the left, then they do have the 8K option. I guess they didn't want to come up with another letter for that. But anyways, so by default it is Full HD, but if you want to record in 4K, then you have to go into the settings and change it to yourself. And even at 4K, you can choose between 30 frames per second or 60 frames per second. Currently I'm recording this video in 60 frames per second. You guys let me know in the comments how the quality looks. This is just regular lighting in my office as usual. I have a light above my head. It is 7 a.m. in the morning. I know you record outside with bright sunlight and blue skies and everything, the quality will be amazing. Depending on how you record your videos and what you record, it may change the quality of the videos. So here is a quick footage at my mom's house, recorded at 4K 30 frames per second. And I honestly think it looks just fine. It is a short clip, but it's just me panning back and forth. The lighting is not that bright, but it does its job. But in general, whether you're recording in Full HD or 4K, if you're just looking on your small screen, it won't really make a difference and it looks fine. It all depends on if you import the file to your computer, you want to do more editing, then at that point you may notice some of the finer details. So here's some other examples of 4K video recording in my office. And in general, whenever you're uploading media to YouTube or Google Photos and you're streaming, by default it tends to be set to auto, and then most of the time it is 1080p, just due to the fact that most people won't really notice the difference. It is quicker to stream and buffer. But if you really do want to see the 4K, you have to really go into the settings and click into it to see the 4K video quality. And just in general, if you're just doing a quick glance, it should look fine. Here's a short video recording of Snorlax at 4K 30 frames per second. I don't really notice any grainy issues or anything like that. And one of the biggest difference in Samsung phone between 30 frames and 60 frames per second is within the 30 frames per second mode, you do have the option to change the camera lenses in the middle of recording. So you can start off at 1x and then you can zoom in and out. But in the 60 frames per second, you are pretty much limited to the original lens that you selected. So you can see in the first video, I'm able to zoom in out, and in the second video, I am not. But I do notice the difference in frame rates between 30 and 60. Even when you're recording around and just panning the camera, it looks a lot smoother. Just in general, when you lay them side by side, I guess the 60 frames per second does look better. So it really all depends. You can make it as simple or as complicated as you want. Just be of note that these larger 4K files does take more time to process if you are into video editing. So if you're on a time crunch, sometimes Full HD might be the better way to go. Most people won't really notice the difference. But if you really do want to get into the high quality file, then you can play around with that on your Galaxy S23. Okay, so that wraps up my coverage on 4K 60 frames per second. I think by default I might leave it on 4K 60 frames per second for now on my day-to-day usage. I'm currently recording this video, like I mentioned earlier, I'm recording this video in 4K 60 frames per second as well. But let me quickly jump into day 50 before wrapping up this video. Saturday morning, woke up at 6:30 a.m. Contractors are still in my basement working on the floor, so just gotta monitor that. In the afternoon, we got some lunch with steak shot on the Galaxy S3. Pictures still look blurry. Knife and the steak on the right is out of focus. So banana shape issue is still there. If you have the Galaxy S23, just be aware of that when you're taking macro photos. You like to take pictures of food, your baby up close, receipts, little things like that. Just have to, I guess, keep your camera further away. But this is an ongoing issue with the S23 and it likely won't be resolved due to the hardware issue. Snapchat looks fine though if you snap from far away. Just another normal day of usage for me. Lasted almost 13 hours. I don't have music blasting in the background with the phone speaker. Usually when I do, I only get about 8 or 9 hours, but normal usage I get 12 to 13, so that's pretty consistent there. 4.5 hours of screen on time, 2 hours of Pokemon Go today. And during my free time, was able to start building a crib for my newborn baby who's gonna come out in 3 months. Very excited for my first child. Photo of the crib looks fine since it is shot further away. And there you have it. This wraps up day 50 in the life of the Galaxy S23. Please check out my 7 weeks review if you haven't already, and let me know what your experience has been so far. Do you use 4K video recording or do you just use a recording that is out of the box? And how do you view your 4K videos or just videos in general? Do you just watch them on your phone or do you upload them to a computer and watch it somewhere else? So I'm curious what you guys do with your videos. I know for me, since I'm vlogging and making videos every day, I have to upload them to a computer. But back then, before I did all this, I pretty much just watch them on my phone, or I don't really cast it to the TV or anything like that. Just keep it simple. I mean, everything's automatically uploaded to Google Photos for me, so if I do want to watch on a computer, I can. But let me know how you guys handle your video recordings and how you watch your videos. Alright guys, thanks for the time as always. Remember to like and subscribe, and see you in the next video.